welcome back. Well, with the story of Chris Brown beating up his girlfriend Rihanna, there has been plenty of buzz about domestic violence. Attorney Lori Clark-Viviano here with more on where women can go to get help and restraining orders, a huge thing that you say is cropping up now more and more.
Okay, but let's not forget men get beat up too.
Yes.
They just don't want to talk about it. How do you explain that someone as little as you beat up someone that's 6 feet?
And you don't have to give out names or anything, but you were just telling me off camera about a story where a man was the victim.
Right, right. You know, the thing is that I think is really important, and someone's going to talk about a book after me, and I thought what was interesting when we were talking backstage is this is a problem. In the court system, they're becoming very strict because what they're realizing is it's a history. Like you said, it's a repeat. And Chris Brown was on the Tyra Banks show, and he was talking about his father beat his mother, he was beaten, and so I'm not giving him excuses because I think hitting someone is never acceptable. And so what is he doing? He's repeating it.
It's a cycle.
Yes. And that's why the courts have figured it out, you know, and we talked about Family Code Section 3044. What they're saying is, if you commit domestic, I know, look, don't they look cute? Well, he's not cute. He gave her a black eye and he beat her up.
And then what's so interesting to me also is the dynamic of she's staying with him.
Ooh.
I mean, it appears, and you know, so that's also just another interesting.
Then you have to start wondering. I think if people start watching the news, they're going to find out that she was maybe a victim of domestic violence, or she saw domestic violence. And I think what's really important is that for everybody really start becoming more aware, because even Jeff and Jer were talking about it this morning, and they were saying the symptoms, and it was really interesting, because one of the things I've learned through my job is everybody thinks it's poor people or it's those people. Oh, no, no, it's everybody. And it's not, you know, that you're a weak person, and that's where people don't come forward, is they think, oh my gosh, we don't do that where we live. Well, yes, they do.
It doesn't know socioeconomic bounds, it doesn't know race, or there are some wonderful places in town, I want to talk about that before we go to the restraining order topic, where men or women could get help. Let's just highlight some of those.
Becky's house. You know, on your website, we're going to list them, you know, and the thing is that I think is important is when you're starting to become concerned, don't wait to be hit. People give there we go, battered women's hotline. All these things are very helpful. If you're starting to become worried, you're being isolated, you're pregnant, you just got married, these are all times when people are at the most vulnerable, and when I'm sorry, this is when people take advantage of them.
So as an attorney, tell me how you step in.
I step in immediately. Someone says they're hit, it's over for me. You should never hit someone. If you feel that strongly, that you're feeling like you want to hit someone, leave. Go out, take a walk, do something, and then get help. But if you're a victim of domestic violence, the reason why you must do something immediately is you don't want your children to repeat it. Look at Chris Brown. He doesn't want to repeat it, and I really commend him on the fact that he's being honest about it and coming forward. But what women and men have to do is, like you said, stop the cycle. Go to an attorney, get a restraining order, do something about it. Go get help through these different resources, or a therapist, or anybody, you know, but don't say they're going, oh, he'll never do it again, or he didn't mean it. No.
Well, Lori, I think that understandably a woman or a man going through something like this, it's so emotional, you may be very overwhelmed. Is it complicated to get a restraining order, and how does it work?
No, I think the courts are really realizing this is serious. And now what they're starting to do is they're starting to take custody away from you. Because what they're seeing is if you hit someone, you are now going to perpetrate this into your children. And then, you know, I don't mean to be selfish, but then it goes into our juvenile court system. This is where criminals come from. And this is just this whole vicious circle. And, you know, the only thing I can tell people is this. If someone hits you, do not. It's never acceptable. Never. And people will try to convince you, oh, I was angry. I had too much to drink. That's not acceptable. You shouldn't ever be hit. You never should have that, and you should act immediately. Even if not for yourself, for your children. You don't want them to see that. Except the woman that's going to have a book on today, she's going to tell you how to change those patterns.
Yeah, self-love. It's all about that.
Exactly.
Oh, Lori, thank you so much. Lori Clark-Viviano, there is all of her information up on the screen, and what a cute picture, I might add. 619 859-296-1594. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day weekend. And thank you again just for being, a beam of light. People that are going through something so dark that they can turn to you in a time where they really need some help.
And have a good, happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much. Well, they say that laughter is the best medicine, but what if you could heal with love? Coming up next, we're going to learn what really happens inside your body when you let love in and how to improve your health by harnessing your emotions. That's next.